What's up, everybody? It is Devin. I have a video for YouTube today that I don't think I've ever done this type of video before, so it's kind of new. This is going to be a small collection purchase, but this is focused on specifically beefing up my value boxes for card shows. So I had somebody that I know from a past working relationship that wanted to give me their small collection, asked if I wanted to buy it. Unfortunately, there are not very many things that are that valuable. As you'll see, there ended up only being one card that I thought was valued individually $20 or more. Everything else was underneath. So I said I'm still interested. This is the first time kind of buying stuff at this super cheap level. Kind of an experiment for me, and this is a good tracker. I marked down everything, and this video will help showcase what I bought, and I'll kind of keep track of it at card shows to kind of see how I do, see if this is something I should buy more of in the future. Luckily, this is not a huge gamble. It's not that much money up front, but I think it'll be a good thing to test, as I have a bunch of smaller local card shows. I have some bigger ones, so I think it'll be worth it to bring some of this stuff too. So in front of you, there are 698 cards. And I'll break this down on the screen for you in a little graphic so you can see exactly what I'm looking at and you can kind of follow along. So 698 cards. I paid a total of $137. So if you want to take it out per card, bring out my calculator. We got $137 by 698 cards. You're talking about basically 20 cents per card on average. I broke this down into 5 different types of categories. The most expensive category is anything valued $20 or plus. I would give its own specific offer on, not necessarily like a percentage. There's only one card that was valued $20 or more. Then there was the $5 pile. I paid $5 for cards, anything that I think was valued between 10 to 18. Next up was everything that I paid $1 for. These are all cards I think that are valued between $4 to $9. And then there was a stack of cards I paid 25 cents for that I thought were between 1 to 3. And then everything that was lower, I paid 5 cents per, because I thought it was going to go in my 50-cent pile. I've never had a 50-cent box at a card show. This is going to be the first time, but I thought this would be kind of a good test. Basketball is my best knowledge, that I have the most knowledge on, so it's the easiest to kind of pick some cards out that I think would do well in a 50-cent box. If you want the breakdown, there was 367 5-cent cards, 308 cards I paid 25 cents for, 20 cards I paid $1 for, 2 cards I paid $5 for, and then 1 card I paid $10 for. So it ended up being $19 I spent on my 50-cent box, $78 I spent on my dollar box, $20 I spent on my $2 to $9 box, $10 I spent on my $10 plus box, and then $10 I spent on a card that I thought was valued more than $20. So that's kind of everything. Now I'll just kind of go through. There's a lot of stuff from either the late 90s, early 2000s. I would say more early 2000s than anything. But I tried to stick for the 50-cent box, the ones I paid 5 cents per. Names that I thought were familiar, either Hall of Famers or guys that I thought had memorable careers in some facet. Definitely not super valuable cards. They are all legitimately under $1 cards. Some might be closer to $1, but I just rounded down, so they're all 50 cents. You got Karl Malone, Chris Webber, Dennis Rodman, Stackhouse, Barkley. I'm going to kind of thumb through these fairly quickly, but Richard Hamilton. And some of these guys, might not be like huge names like Shawn Marion, but guys that I remember growing up, so I'm sure somebody else is going to remember growing up watching them play basketball. Stockton and Malone were a no-brainer. Anybody who's Hall of Fame, Reggie Miller. Jermaine O'Neal was one that I thought is just a decently skilled basketball player. I also tried to remember that majority of shows I'm going to be set up at are either in Michigan, Indiana, They're more local shows, so Pacers stuff, Pistons cards, anything that kind of had, you know, relative to those two states, those two basketball programs I tried to pick up. So there's like some Jalen Rose in here, which obviously hits Michigan and hits Indiana. You got Jermaine O'Neal. I tried to do anything Pistons related that was a decent name. So anything Grant Hill, Jerry Stackhouse. There's some Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton, a bunch of Team USA cards. Now there's a couple odds and ends inserts. Mitch Richmond isn't a huge name. Key Ingredient Gold is a cool insert. Like the cheapest one available on eBay for that is like a $2 or $3. I'm putting it in my 50-cent box. Now, whether somebody thinks that's a good deal or not, I'm very interested to find out. I thought I'd try to play it on the safe side. For the most part, I mean, like I said, the majority of these names that are going to be in the 50-cent box are bigger names in the game of basketball. They've already played. They've already retired. There's not really much that can be done about their legacies in the game of basketball. Tracy McGrady, lots of Grant Hill, Muggsy Bogues, Tony Kukoc, obviously with the Bulls. I also tried to make sure I stuck with guys, if they weren't super well-known, on the teams that they were more well-known for, like Tony Kukoc with the Bulls, Penny Hardaway with the Magic or the Suns. Either one didn't really matter to me. Jason Kidd, will always put him in the 50-cent box. Stephen Marbury. Got a couple more stacks. Like I said, there was 367 cards. And these are everything that's in a soft sleeve. I tried to make everything look kind of uniform the same way. 367 cards that I paid 5 cents per. Ended up being $19 total. Like Lindsey Hunter, if anybody knows Detroit Pistons basketball, he was relevant for the Detroit Pistons. Pedro Stojakovic, Mike Bibby, Vlade Divac, White Chocolate, Jay Will. Now, a lot of these cards are base from the, the 90s and the 2000s. Definitely nothing here that is a winner. Mateen Cleaves, kind of 2-1 with MSU and Detroit there. I believe that's a rookie card for Mateen. Bibby, Vlade, another Mateen. Like I said, just a lot of guys that I think were relevant in the game of basketball. Stuff that, at the end of the day, probably sell a few of them. Should be able to break even on this type of stuff. No problem. It might take me a little bit of time, but I mean, Ben Wallace and the old school red Pistons throwback uni, you can't pass that up to put in a 50-cent box. Another one, the teal, that's an iconic Pistons jersey. Jerry Stackhouse and that old school teal and red jerseys. Jalen Rose, that's what I'm talking about, from Fleer Metal. Chris Mullin, Reggie Miller. Lots of Stockton and Malone that was in this collection. Now, the crazy part is this entire collection was just in a bunch of binders. And not just like any old binder. There was literally stuffed in each binder slot like 4 to 5 cards. So I had to pull everything out. Some of this stuff was stuck together because it had been sitting so long. It took a lot of work to separate everything. Paul Pierce, Tim Hardaway, Kevin Garnett. There's a good amount of KG. The big ticket. Ooh, I apologize. My air kicked on. Ray Allen. Might be a little noisy. Lamar Odom. He was an interesting one. Obviously, his cards are not super valuable, but if you're somebody that enjoys Lamar Odom, maybe you want to pick up a few cards for 50 cents a piece. So, a lot of this stuff, too, is a test for me. Super cheap test. I'm at a lot of card shows, so it gives me the opportunity to maybe pick up some stuff like this, throw it in the value boxes, see if, I can make my money back and then some, and maybe have some cards to hang on to for the future. Kind of low investment. Gives me something to do in between. Make sure I'm taking advantage of the full table space. Typically when I set up at a card show, I have 1 or 2 tables. Always have 2 to 3 showcases that are filled. Wang Zhizhi. Kind of a unique name, but doesn't have very many cards. Some odds and ends stuff. Gary Payton, Vince Carter, AI, Kevin Garnett. A lot of cool names. Definitely curious to see how some of these move. If people think 50 cents for some of these cards is fair, if it's undervalued, if it's overvalued. Genuinely curious. I think some of this will also depend on where I'm located for the card show. Like, if I'm in Indiana, maybe the Reggie Millers are going to move super quickly. Here in Michigan, all the Detroit Pistons cards, maybe those will move quickly. I mean, I have no idea, so we'll kind of see. All right, next up, and this is how, if you ever see me at a card show set up, this is how I have my stuff. So anything that's in a soft sleeve at 50 cents, anything that's in a top loader with nothing else is $1, and then everything else will be prices marked. So that's the easiest way to kind of depict what the prices are for my cards. All right, so this is all stuff I'm going to throw in my dollar box, and this is everything that I paid $1 for. So it's a lot of the same names, just maybe it was an insert, or maybe a set that was just a little bit more popular, like Triple Crown for Akeem, some of the Fleer Ultras. Akeem's, a lot of his stuff was definitely in that dollar range. Like, that's a numbered Lamar Odom rookie out of 3,500 in the dollar box. Kevin Garnett. So a lot of these main guys were in the dollar box. Kevin Garnett, Cuttino Mobley, Michael Finley. Now some of these are just because of the sets that they are, like Game Time, Fleer Premium, Crash the Game, Touch the Sky, Michael Finley. Otherwise, if it was just a base card of a lot of those guys, probably not going in the dollar box. Lamar Odom rookie, some inserts, Elton Brand. Definitely some cool looking stuff. I mean, it's not the new shiny cards from Panini, but definitely some cool names. I mean, Vince Carter going into the Hall of Fame this year. Dirk Nowitzki. Some early cards of Dirk. He looks so young there. Steve Nash when he was with the Mavericks, then the Suns. Brent Barry, Desmond Mason, Power in the Key, Horace Grant. So like a cool set, just not a great name. Lots of Gary Payton, the glove. AI, the answer. So lots of fun stuff. I think the stuff that I put in the dollar box should be some of the best sellers. I think that, and then the stuff that I have priced out individually, which I'll showcase next, I think all that stuff. Ooh, there was one of the binders, so there's 3 binders that I went through. One of the binders had a couple sleeves of MJs, so we definitely got some MJs in here. Always happy to pick those up and throw those in the dollar box. Somebody's always going to want to buy an MJ at some point. They don't always have to be valuable. Somebody's always willing to buy an MJ. So a lot of these are very mass-produced. That's why it's only worth $1. But the majority of these, if like you go on eBay and you try to buy some of these Michael Jordans that I'm showcasing, the cheapest listed is between like, you know, $1.30 to $1.90. And anything that's under $2, I'm just putting at $1. So try to make it super easy. Vince Carter, Gold Reserve. I think it'll be cool too if there's some set collectors. You know, they're trying to complete master sets of like Ultimate Victory or Black Diamond, or, you know, the odds and ends sets, and maybe they can find a few cards that they need. Gary Payton Class 1 from Gold Label. That's a sick card for $1. If you're a fan of Gary Payton, I think that's a good deal. A couple Michigan, Chris Webber's with them when he was with the Kings. Now, I will say this. Did I need to buy more cards to throw into my value boxes? Probably not. I have probably 20 to 30 5,000 count boxes that are sitting with cars that I've owned for a long time. However, this was purchased specifically because a person reached out to me. I've had a relationship with them for a while. Said they just wanted some money, so it was kind of helping them out at the same time. I knew it wasn't going to be a super large investment to purchase his collection, because I kind of briefly went through it and I didn't see anything that I thought was super valuable. So because of that, I didn't mind taking the time and money to, buy his collection. Now, in the summer, if I'm smart, I should just price out everything I have and start bringing everything to shows and completely fill up my tables. But, that's if you're, if I'm on top of my game, and I'm not always on top of my game. Sometimes I just like to buy and I just hoard some stuff for a little bit. So now, granted, I am aware that a lot of this stuff was mass produced in the 90s. That's why I tried to stick to only the names that were relevant. There was hundreds of cards from this collection that I completely passed on. I wouldn't even offer anything for. They were just either names that weren't relevant or cars that I didn't think people would have interest for. And the majority of the stuff is like Magic Johnson, Scottie Pippen, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, Grant Hill, Jason Terry, Anthony Hardaway. It's just all guys that are relevant in the game of basketball and the history of basketball. So I try to stick with that, hoping that it works out. We'll see, though. All right, that was everything that was $1. Next up, this is the same category that I paid. Everything that I priced out $2 to $3. So if you ever see me at a card show, everything $1. It's just a top loader, no sleeves, no nothing, no price stickers, just very easy. If anything I'm ever selling at $2 or higher, I always put it in these perfect fit sleeves that go over top loaders, and I put a price sticker on it. So everything that is priced $2 or more on my table will always have a price sticker. So you never have to guess what that value is. It's super easy to figure out. It does take me time, but I like to keep a clean looking table. So all these that I priced out at $2 to $3 is in the same category that I paid 25 cents per. So anything that I put at a sticker price of $1 to $3, I paid a quarter for. So the ones that are $1, my margin is pretty slim. Maybe somebody buys 4 or 5 of them and they offer $3. Probably going to say yes to something like that if they walk up to the table. Margins are pretty slim there. Where the margins get a little bit bigger is when you get a $2 and $3 card and I'm still paying 25 cents on it. That's where I can make a little bit more money. That's why I like to buy this stuff as a collection as a whole, because I get to win some, I get to lose some. Maybe they get better value when they're selling it on some of the lower end ones, some of the higher end ones I get better value on. So it kind of works out in the end. But these are all in this pile, Michael Jordans that I priced out $2 to $3. And the majority of these, it's the way that I price out Michael Jordans are cards that are in abundance. You type in the card onto eBay, like a cut above, you type in the card number, CA3, and you see what the cheapest one available is. If it's available for, let's say, $275 is the cheapest one available, and there's like 70 listings. To me, I can confidently say that it's a $2 card. So I price it at $2. If it's something that's listed at $320 is the cheapest available, like a Randy Moss, I price it at $3, knowing that there's 50 plus listings that are like that, and it just is like, if that's the cheapest one available, then typically people are paying right around there. That seems to be the going rate. A couple of unique ones here: Brian Cardinal game night gear, and then a top side-by-side Tim Hardaway and Dawn Staley, which these are very interesting if you're not familiar with these cards side-by-side. Some of them are refractors. So the Tim Hardaway side is a non-refractor, and then the Dawn Staley is a refractor. Some of them are non-refractors on both sides. Some of them are a refractor on one side or the other, and some of them are refractors on both sides. The refractor on both sides is the rare version of those. It is much tougher to get a refractor version on both. Some other cards that I priced out, $2 to $3. Gary Payton, Year 3 Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki Class 1, AI, a couple Allen Iversons. That's a rookie there, another rookie. Kevin Garnett rookie, Verticality of Kevin Garnett. Steve Francis, that's a rookie for him. Vince Carter, Unleashed Coast to Coast. Net set of Gary Payton and Mad Game of Chris Webber. So all those that were stickered $2 to $3 were all cards that were in that 25-cent pile that I paid. Now, next up is the ones that are a little bit more valuable. These are definitely some chances for me to make some money. This is everything that I thought was valued between $4 to $9. So you're going to see me with price stickers of $4 to $9. I paid $1 per card on this stack. There was 20 cards in this stack. So you're going to see 20 different cards. I paid $20 for the whole stack. And some of them are kind of unique. Maybe you don't think they're supposed to be that valuable, like the Vince Carter. This is because of the picture, and the dunk is sick. Same with that one. And then some of them make sense, like an all-matrix insert of Allen Iverson, gold label of Allen Iverson, just a sick-looking card. Allen Iverson guarded by Kobe Bryant. You would think a Stadium Club base card wouldn't be valuable when you put two guys like that are in the Hall of Fame. Pretty sick when you put those guys on the same page. Elton Brand on-card autograph. Kevin Garnett Class 3 from Gold Label. Another Vince Carter, which I'm going to have to figure that out. I priced one at $4, I priced one at $5. That's what happens when you look through 700 cards. Now, if somebody walked up to my table, by the way, I honor the lowest price. So we go off of 4 and not 5. So I'll have to fix that one. Verticality of Vince Carter. That's what happens when you price out 700 cards. Sometimes you get a little mixed up. Michael Jordan in the Wizards uniform. Yao Ming rookie card. Silver script MJ. So that is not a real autograph, by the way. That is just part of the card. But silver script is kind of like a parallel from that set. So a little bit more valuable there. Another MJ plus factor. I think that was the most valuable MJ insert that we found. Pump Up the Jam. In the Wizards uni. Iconic dunk there. One-handed, cocked back with the tongue out. Definitely an iconic photo for MJ there. Kind of an interesting one. Scoonie Penn auto from Ohio State. Decent-looking autograph, actually. Pretty nice and blue for being signed so long ago. And then this is a Marcus Camby that is serial numbered. 2059 out of 2500. There wasn't very many serial numbered cards from here. I will have to fix these. I'm going to set these to the side. That one should be 4. And then the final 3 cards, there was 2 cards that I thought were valued between $10 to $18, so I paid $5 a card. Elton Brand autograph on card with the Duke collegiate uniform, and then an insert net effect of Kevin Garnett. Those 2 cards I paid $5 for because I thought they were valued between $10 to $18. Got a $12 sticker on each of those. And this was the most valuable card by far out of the 3 binders, which when you first look at it, maybe you didn't think it would be as valuable as maybe some of the MJs or some of the autographs or numbered stuff. But this is a Game Breakers insert from 97-98 Fleer of Shawn Kemp and Gary Payton. So Payton and Kemp, obviously that was a famous duo there. It must be a pretty tough insert to pull. I don't know the exact pack odds. I didn't look at them. When I looked it up on eBay, the cheapest available was like $50. There were sales anywhere ranging from $20 to $30. So something like this, the most recent sale was $20. Cheapest listed at $50. There are sales at $30, so I'm going to sticker it at $30. Knowing that if somebody walks up to me at a card show, I'll probably have some room to work with. when I purchased it, I went off that most recent sale at 20 bucks. And cards that are valued between 20 to 40, I give half in value. So this $20 card I paid 10 bucks for. So this is definitely a chance to make some money and return a good chunk of my cost from the lot. That Game Breakers insert. Like I said, the total cost for everything was $137. So if I could get 20 to 25 bucks for that, it gives me a good chunk of my money back and still have all the rest of the cards. So that was everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know it's kind of a different video, definitely lengthy. But this is what I'm using to beef up some of my value boxes over the next, month at some local card shows and some bigger ones. So if you're interested in any of these cards, come see me at some card shows. Follow me on my social media, and I'll have kind of my show schedule usually posted on there when I'm going to a show. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. I'll have 2 more binders from the same guy. So if this video gets decent traction when posting it and you guys like it, then I'll make a video of the other 2 binders and see what else is in there. I think there were some Kobe Bryant rookies, or at least some memorabilia patches in the other 2 binders. So there should be 1 or 2 cards that are going to be above that $20 plus range. So hopefully that'll be kind of cool. But that was everything. Thanks again. Everyone have a great day, and don't forget to smile. Later, guys.